Brock Lesnar's shocking statement to Jacob Fatu brutally attacks Samoan Werewolf. The battle for supremacy begins. Brock Lesnar has done it again. The Beast Incarnate, the undisputed titan of destruction, has shattered the silence and sent a thunderous message across the entire wrestling world. What unfolded wasn't just a surprise return, not just a mere confrontation, but an outright declaration of war. And the man who found himself on the receiving end of Brock Lesnar's fury? None other than Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf, one of the fastest rising, most dangerous, and most unpredictable forces in modern professional wrestling. But to truly understand the sheer impact of this shocking moment, we have to look at everything leading up to it, from Brock Lesnar's past dominance to Jacob Fatu's meteoric rise, and why this brutal attack could signal a massive shift in the wrestling industry's future. Let's rewind the clock. The Beast's absence. For months, Brock Lesnar had been off television. The air around the wrestling world buzzed with questions. Was he retired? Was he done with the business? Or had he simply been waiting for the perfect moment to strike again? Speculation was rampant. But Lesnar, true to his nature, remained elusive. The last time fans had seen the Beast Incarnate, he was at the peak of his dominance, having put on some of the most brutal matches in WWE history. He had made short work of countless opponents, each victory adding to his mythos. Yet, after WrestleMania, Brock went quiet. And the wrestling world, for the first time in years, was left wondering if this was the end. Some whispered that his age might be catching up with him, that the endless years of intense battles might finally be taking their toll. Others believed that he had simply moved on to greener pastures, ready to cash in on his legacy without needing to step into the ring again. But when Lesnar finally returned, it was clear that he was far from finished. The way he entered was almost poetic. There were no grand promos, no long build-ups. In fact, the wrestling community had no warning at all. Brock Lesnar didn't need a countdown. He didn't need months of hype. He arrived when no one expected it, and he did so in typical Brock fashion, with fury, with force, and with absolutely no hesitation. Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf. To understand the intensity of Brock Lesnar's return and attack, we must first take a closer look at the man he chose to target, Jacob Fatu. Representing the legendary Naomi family, the same bloodline that gave us Roman Reigns, the Usos, The Rock, and so many other wrestling icons, Jacob Fatu had carved out his own name as a ruthless, high-impact warrior. He was more than just another wrestler. He had quickly become a force of nature in the squared circle, a Samoan powerhouse with unmatched athleticism and a fearsome presence. What set Jacob Fatu apart from the other members of the Naomi family was his raw aggression and animalistic fighting style. Nicknamed the Samoan Werewolf, Fatu's in-ring persona is built around his unrelenting brutality. His moves were often a blend of power and high-flying athleticism, with no regard for his opponent's well-being. It wasn't uncommon to see him execute moves that defied logic, diving off the top ropes with the same intensity as a man twice his size. He could throw down with the best of them, yet maintain a level of agility that was unmatched for someone of his size. His rise to prominence was swift, and before long, Jacob Fatu was regarded as one of the most dangerous and unpredictable wrestlers in the business. Fans and critics alike couldn't stop talking about him. Every time he stepped into the ring, there was an electricity in the air, a sense that anything could happen. And his relentless drive to prove himself made him a constant contender for titles and accolades. But there was one thing Jacob Fatu hadn't yet achieved, the ultimate validation. He hadn't proven himself as the top dog in the wrestling world. And the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar, was the final hurdle in that path. The night it all went down. The arena was electric that night, filled with fans eager to witness the next chapter in the story of Jacob Fatu. He was scheduled for a high-profile match, one that would put his strength and resilience on full display. The crowd, who had already been chanting his name in anticipation, was ready to witness yet another explosive performance from the Samoan Werewolf. But little did they know, this wasn't going to be just another match. This was going to be something far more brutal, far more shocking than anyone could have imagined. As Jacob Fatu made his way to the ring, the atmosphere shifted. There was an unsettling buzz in the air, and the tension was palpable. Fans could sense something was off, but no one could quite place what was about to happen. And then, the moment that would change everything occurred. Brock Lesnar's music hit. The crowd erupted. The Beast was back, and he was not here to play. Lesnar stormed down the ramp with a look of pure intensity in his eyes. There was no smiling, no waving to the fans. He had one target in mind, and that target was Jacob Fatu. As Fatu turned to face him, the clash of titans became inevitable. What followed was an absolute display of brutality. Lesnar charged toward Fatu, knocking him to the ground with a devastating clothesline that sent shockwaves through the arena. The force of the hit was so powerful that the ring seemed to shake beneath them. Lesnar wasn't there to negotiate. He wasn't there to talk. He was there to show Fatu and the world exactly why he was still the most dangerous man in the business. Fatu, ever resilient, tried to fight back, but Brock Lesnar was on another level. The Samoan Werewolf's attempts to overpower Lesnar were quickly neutralized by the Beast's sheer power. Lesnar lifted Fatu effortlessly, hitting him with a massive F5 that left the fans in stunned silence. The impact echoed through the arena, and Fatu was left crumpled in the center of the ring. Brock Lesnar stood tall, breathing heavily as the crowd roared. The Beast had sent a message, and there was no question about it. This was the dawn of a new chapter in the wrestling world, one where Brock Lesnar would be the undisputed alpha, and Jacob Fatu would have to claw his way back from this brutal attack. The aftermath. The shocking attack on Jacob Fatu wasn't just a random act of violence. It was a declaration of war. Brock Lesnar had made it clear that no one, not even the rising star of Jacob Fatu, was safe from his wrath. The question on everyone's mind now is, what's next? For Fatu, this could be the defining moment of his career. The question remains, will he rise from the ashes of this brutal attack and come back stronger, or will Brock Lesnar's destruction leave him broken beyond repair? One thing is certain, Jacob Fatu won't back down. The Samoan Werewolf is as dangerous as they come, and if anyone can come back from a devastating loss like this, it's him. For Brock Lesnar, this attack was just the beginning. What could this mean for his future in WWE? Is this the start of a new feud that will see Lesnar dominate the landscape, or is it just a chapter in his ongoing legacy of destruction? And then there's the larger picture. This shocking moment marks a potential shift in the wrestling industry itself. With the likes of Jacob Fatu rising through the ranks, and Brock Lesnar's brutal assault reminding the world of his dominance, there's no telling what the future holds. Could this attack signify a new wave of power struggles, where the old guard faces off against the next generation of superstars? One thing is for sure, the Beast Incarnate has declared war, and it's a war that could reshape the very foundation of professional wrestling. The collision between Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu was more than just a fight. It was a brutal reminder that in professional wrestling, no one is safe, and no one is invincible. As Brock Lesnar's shocking statement reverberates through the WWE universe, one thing is clear, the battle for supremacy is far from over. Whether Jacob Fatu can recover and rise to the challenge or whether Brock Lesnar will continue his reign of destruction is a question that fans will be watching closely. The Beast has made his move. Now, the Samoan Werewolf must decide if he can survive the hunt. Stay tuned, because this story is far from finished. If you thought tonight's story was wild, trust me, what happens next will blow your mind. So don't stop now. Click on the video right here on your screen to continue the chaos and the drama.